Hey guys, it's Siobhan with To Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about a couple of different things, and this is also going to be an energy update for August 27th and going forward. So as of right now, the Schumann resonance had a pretty significant spike last night. It's been fairly calm for the past little while, and so I haven't been really reporting on it. There's been a couple of little spikes over the past, week or so, but nothing big enough to warrant, like a full energy update video. If the energy remains consistent, even if it is high, I won't post about it because I would just be saying the same thing over and over and over again, and I don't want it to get redundant. So the energy updates are only going to be when there's something, of particular significance that is worth, talking about, looking into, and focusing on. So as of right now, the Schumann resonance, it spiked at around 59 hertz, and it said that it happened at about 5:20 a.m. And it's interesting because I quite literally woke up out of a dream sleep at 5:20. I think it was actually 5:21 a.m. that I woke up. I looked at my phone, and I heard like this water rushing, and I got up and I went around my house and there was no taps on, nothing. And I was just like, where the heck was that coming from? But I was meant to wake up at that time as the wave, I guess, was coming in and it was sort of symbolized with that rushing water. So in addition to that, we also have geomagnetic storms forecast. Then they're supposed to arrive today and tomorrow. And then a second wave of solar storms is arriving September 1st and 2nd. So these geomagnetic storms really influence the Schumann resonance. They influence our geomagnetic field of the Earth. And, in conjunction to that, they influence our physical energetic field, which is also connected to the geomagnetic field. So when these waves come in, when this energy arrives, it comes in the form of, like plasmic particles, and they come in at the poles. So that's where you see these increased levels of aurora borealis, seeing the lights in the sky, or the shifting of the colors of the horizon. So it's because of the particles of stardust and stuff that's coming from the galaxy into our planetary field and interacting with our magnetosphere. So these are holding high frequencies of light, and these are being integrated into the planet and into our own energetic systems. So, you can experience symptoms with this. Drink more water, get more sleep, make sure that you're eating enough. Sometimes the symptoms can be that you're not hungry at all. Sometimes you'll have weird cravings for foods that you wouldn't normally eat. Sometimes you'll need to sit down. You may experience vertigo. I've had that happen in the beginning stages of my awakening, and dizziness, nausea, that kind of thing. So just pay attention to what your body needs, because it's going to influence everybody a little bit differently, as we are all holding a very unique personal frequency, and how that external frequency interacts with ours is going to be unique and individual to you. So again, honor what you need. Oh, and the percentage in time on my laptop right now is 55% and 1222. So trust that these changes are divinely guided, and that we are balancing and creating a new way forward. So there's been major themes of balance and bringing up these dualistic energies to be reconciled. And I've been talking about that in the past couple of videos with discernment and judgment and death and reincarnation, all of these different things that are very dualistic in nature. So it's two opposite ends of the polarity, two opposite ends of the spectrum, and they're being brought together in unity for us to be able to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. I also wanted to touch on the 12D shield information that I kind of just quickly mentioned it yesterday's video, and I had a couple of comments asking a little bit more about it, and I have responded with some of the information that I have come across on the 12D shield. And I just wanted to state that I am by no means, a master at the 12D shield. I've only just recently started utilizing this technique myself. I did see somebody commented that Lisa Renee has a really good YouTube video about how to activate the 12D shield. So if I can find that, I'll leave that as a link in the description box below for you guys, as well as the Ascension Glossary information on the 12D Ray. And I highly recommend reading all of that, as well as the psychic protection, which was another theme that we were talking about yesterday. And on that note of psychic protection, when I was talking about energy being directed through the eyes, I just got deja vu, so this is important. When energy is directed through the eyes, if it is negative in nature, and people may not even realize they're doing this, when we look at somebody else and we judge them, or we are jealous of, whatever they have, or we're angry at them, we project that energy in their direction, and it will influence at some level their energy. So it's important that, first of all, we be aware and not do that. If you catch yourself doing that unconsciously, try to bring it into your awareness so that you can shift it to a vibration of love. So if you catch yourself looking at somebody and judging them, shift it to, okay, what do I like about them? What can I see externally or vibrationally that I appreciate about them, that I love about them, that I'm grateful for, and really try to counter the vibration. And that will work, because love vibrations are much faster and stronger than negative vibrations of fear, judgment, or lack. So countering something in the moment is honestly the best thing that you can do. But there's also other techniques that you can employ, and protection techniques are another theme that I wanted to mention today, and they are in the psychic defense, I believe, section on the Ascension Glossary. It's linked in the 12D shield at the bottom. Psychic protection. So, but I was also mentioning in a comment that you can utilize the evil eye protection as well. And so this is actually an ancient Greek what's the word I'm looking for here? Belief, superstition, whatever you want to call it. But it's this jewelry that was worn, or sigils that were used in the form of a lidless blue eye. And this eye would protect you from the evil eye. So this eye is a representation of the all-seeing eye, and therefore the God source energy. So when you wear this, or when you invoke this into your field, you are protected from any kind of judgment or jealousy or negative intention that is sent your way consciously or unconsciously by the sender. So you can employ this by wearing it physically. I myself have an evil eye bracelet that I wear that was given to me by my mom, as we are Greek. But there's tons of other ways that you can do it. You don't have to buy the jewelry. You can draw your own sigil. You can create your own protection in your field through intention. So manifesting the evil eye protection and then integrating that into your shield, your 12D shield, it would really benefit as well. And on the topic of the 12D shield, people were asking, how do I invoke this? How do I utilize this technique? And again, using the resources that I will provide, but I also wanted to mention that it really doesn't have to be complicated. I find that a lot of times people overthink things a lot, and they think that there's one way of doing it, and that's the only way to do it. And so they have to, find the truth of what it is. It's really not the case. We are creator beings. We all have a very unique and individual blueprint and physical energy that I was talking about earlier. And so what's going to work for you is not necessarily what's going to work for somebody else. So this is another thing that came up in the comments under yesterday's video. A commenter was asking about how to infuse energy into water, and that there was all this mystique around it, and she didn't know what to do, and there was no clear answer. And yes, that's right. There is no clear answer, because it is completely unique to each individual. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Honestly, when you just infuse your intention, it works wonders. It's not the power of the wand. The power is in the wizard. The power is within you. It's within each individual, and that frequency that you hold is very unique to you. So whatever you empower will hold your frequency. And where attention goes, energy flows. So whatever you're paying attention to, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're concentrating on, is going to be infused with the energy that you're holding at the time. So if something becomes a chore, then it's not going to be holding the highest vibrational energy, because you're inputting that energy of, oh, I don't really want to be doing this. And that's not what you want to be infusing or imprinting or encoding into whatever it is that you're trying to encode, imprint, or influence. So what you really want to be doing is making sure that whatever you're doing is, first of all, ritualistic and done with intention. And the whole point behind ritual, and the ancients knew this, that's why they had such regimented rituals. It wasn't about the ritual itself. It's only ever about the intention and the concentration that is put into the ritual. So it's not the ritual that holds magic. It is the intention and the focus that our awareness is bringing to that. That is the magic. So for infusing your water with light codes, you can do this simply by looking at your water and sending light and love into it, and whatever way that works best for you. So if you are a very visual person, then do this through visualization. Like imagine this light pouring into the water and infusing the water, and every molecule of water is crystallizing with this beautiful snowflake of love. And you can actually look at that for visuals. Dr.Emoto, he was a Japanese scientist who researched into intention, and specifically in infusing water with intention and different words. Very interesting. And if I can find information on that, I will link it below as well. And if you are not a visual person, if you are more of a physical person, then you can add ritual into it. So for example, you can pour your water from one cup to the other. And as you're doing this, just set the intention that the water is receiving balance and love and harmony, and then drink that. If you want something that's a little bit easier or fast, although these are very quick things to do, somebody else left in the comments, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. It's a video that is of music that is specifically made for infusing water with light codes and love. So, there's other people who have put this kind of thing out so that you can use their form of it if it resonates with you. Again, this really all boils down to your intuition. It's not about what other people say to do. It's about trusting your intuition and what is right for you, because we are all very different, unique frequencies, and yet we're all one. So when you find information out there that resonates with you, that means you're on the same frequency as it, then employ that. And you'll know if it resonates with you, because you'll say, oh, yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. That fully makes sense to me. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you're going to go, no. And it's very clear. It's one or the other. So, I just wanted to talk about that. Now, another thing that I wanted to touch on was an experience that I had yesterday. I went to what's called ZenDen. It's a meditation center in Vancouver where I live. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I went for a crystal sound bath healing. So they utilized the crystal bowls as well as the Tibetan singing bowls, gongs, and noisemakers and chimes of all sorts. So all of these different sounds emit a different frequency, and each frequency interacts with your frequency, your energy body, in a different way, and evokes different emotions, vibrations, thoughts, beliefs, and at a deep inner level, healing as well. So as we were going through this meditation, I was, relaxing, focusing on my breathing, doing a little bit of passive meditation, which is really just attempting to relax and clear the mind. And then I got into active meditation, which is what I prefer to do. I'm really not a passive type of person in that sense. I really like to be active in my meditations, and that's why I love doing Reiki so much, is because it allows me to really tune in and see visually what's going on in the energy fields of others. But for me, today it was about myself, and self-care is something that has been coming up a lot for me, and it's been coming up a lot for all of us, and that's why I've continued to share and prompt others to do self-care. And I thank Jessica Leonard for keeping me accountable in my self-care. She's a fellow YouTuber here. I highly recommend going and checking out her channel. She's a Reiki master as well, and she's very unified in her science and spirituality, which I very much resonate. So it's not a coincidence that we came together. Hashtag soul family. So anyway, I'm vibrating with these singing bowls. I'm getting all juiced up. I'm feeling the energy. I'm connecting with my breath. And then I'm beginning to have this active meditation. And what I saw, I had a vision in my mind's eye, which I have a lot when I meditate or when I tune into frequencies or energy. And I saw a cobra. And this cobra looked quite mean. He had like an angry expression on his face, and he looked like he was about to attack. And then I saw this dragon, this beautiful, massive Chinese dragon, so the ones that are kind of serpentile in nature. They don't have wings or anything like that, and they had this huge, massive head. And it came out and it ate the cobra. And then the dragon started moving its way, snaking its way up my body. So it's interesting because usually the snake is represented as the Kundalini energy, which is the life force energy of the body, normally curled at the base of the spine. And when activated, it goes up the chakra system into the crown. For me, that day, yesterday, it was the dragon. And I did a little bit of research on the dragon and found that in the Chinese culture, it's very much related to the life force energy. It is the balance between the yin and the yang, the qi energy. And so, of course, this really relates to that aspect. And it was interesting because, for the most part, I have a tendency to go more towards that sort of Hindu or Eastern philosophy, but this still is Eastern philosophy because it's coming out of China. But it's interesting just because I don't work with that on a regular basis. But this dragon energy was coming forward in such a profound and transformational way. So I actually love that these different symbols come up for me from all different cultures. And it really shows the unification that we are as a human collective at a soul level. So anyway, this dragon is going up my spine, and then it comes out of my face, and it was like my head was the dragon head, so I was the dragon. And then it reaffirmed that to me, and it said, "You are the dragon." And then this blue fire was coming out of my throat, and I was breathing fire. And as I was breathing the fire, I could feel my throat chakra clearing. And it transitioned after that into this dragon that was me pulling up. It was swimming upwards and pulling the earth. And at this point, I was kind of seeing it from outer space, objectively, watching the dragon version of me pulling the earth up into a higher frequency. And then I saw it was like flashes of every other person in the world being the dragon as well. So it's not just me who's the dragon. You're the dragon. We're all the dragon. And we were all inside the dragon simultaneously pulling the earth up into a higher frequency. And I got the image of, the scene in Finding Nemo when all of the tuna are in the net and they're being pulled up onto the fishing boat, and what's his name? The dad is like, swim down, everybody swim down, and everybody's swimming down together. And when they work together, they created such a force that they snapped the fishing line and they were all free. And this is what I was seeing with the dragon. It was like we were all in the dragon, and instead of swimming down, we were swimming up. And we were all, snaking our way, like gliding our way up together and pulling this earth with us through the ascension process. So that was pretty cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and I did share it with the meditation group as well. So very profound and transformational. I feel a big shift has happened in my own life, and I'm starting to see it in the collective as well. So there's things that are happening at a collective level that are going to create change. Also in the meditation last night, which now I realize is not coincidence. I was seeing the riots in China, and of course then this dragon came in that was a Chinese symbol. So this was this was healing that aspect of the energy that's going on in China right now that is a little bit chaotic, and soothing that in a sense. Also, the dragon represents all of the elements, and the fire is balanced by the water. And I was seeing the Amazon being cleansed with the water. And from what I've seen online, the collective meditations have been successful in manifesting rain. So we, as a collective, have great power. We are individual creators, but we are also co-creating our reality. And when we focus our intention as a group or as large groups, we are able to shift things on a collective scale. So it's really important for us to hold the highest vibration of love, and as well as trust and faith in the process as we go through this transition as a human collective, because there is going to be and there has been events that have been a little bit chaotic, tumultuous, having that hashtag tower moment for the world. But it's all for a reason. Everything is divinely guided. And it's really about staying out of the fear state of, cataclysm and chaos and, the whole end of the world type of energy, which the powers that be are attempting to influence us with and program us to believe in, and rather remaining in a state of balance and inner trust, knowing that whatever happens is happening for divinely guided reasons, that we are ascending on these higher timelines, and that we are, as a collective, rising in a state of love to the expansion and frequency of the fifth dimension and beyond. To Kitty and beyond. So it's to infinity and beyond. We will keep on going, ascending and ever evolving as humans and as consciousness in general. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and also to touch on the fact that, all of these different symbols come forward in my own meditations and when I work with individuals, doing the Reiki sessions and the readings. Lots of different symbols will come forward, and sometimes you might not even know what they are. So it's really important to research into what the meaning is behind that. I have stuff that comes through for me. I have no idea what it means. And then I go and I look it up. I Google all of these different resources and I find the one that really resonates with me, that I feel called to, and that confirms sort of the energy that symbol or archetype held. And finding that information really puts it into context in a more linear way. Because when psychic information comes through, it's most often in the form of energy. It's not in the form of, linear thinking. That's not to say that you don't get words or channeled information, because I definitely do. And a lot of the time I'll get words that I don't even know. So I had Archon come through in a reading for an individual, which I'm going to touch on in one of the Reiki session videos that I'm going to make. And I had no idea what Archon meant. So I had to go look it up. And then it really applied to the reading. And then we had a subsequent session, and it was a big, big theme. And another instance of this was I was doing a session with an individual who spoke Spanish, and the word abuela came through, and I'm like, what does abuela mean? I don't speak Spanish. I'm Canadian. Our two languages are French and English. So she says, oh, that's grandmother. And it was interesting because just before that, I had told her that I was seeing an image of her grandmother. So, don't discount the information that you get intuitively. Don't strike it off as your imagination or fall into self-doubt of that nature. It's really important to be aware of the images, the archetypes, the information, the words that are coming through to you, either through visions, through your inner dialogue, or through synchronicities in your environment. Pay attention to them, write them down, research them, Google it, find more information, be the seeker that you are. This is the age of enlightenment. We have unlimited access to information via the internet and through our own energetic frequency receiver transmitters that we are. We're like giant antenna rods. So we have the more than capable ability to be able to receive vast amounts of information. And it's really just about setting the intention to do so and putting in the effort to be able to translate what does come through. So everybody is psychic. I fully believe this. We're all highly intuitive. It's just whether or not you foster that gift or you leave it to be dormant or to stagnate. It's really up to you. So yeah, we touched on a lot of topics in today's talk. And just take what resonates with you and leave the rest here. I always share these little talks and chats for the greatest and highest good, and with the codes of love and beauty, compassion, empathy, kindness, and service to others, above all. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me or a Reiki healing session, all of the information will be in the description box below. I love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.